It's Friday, July 24th. In the headlines, the Black River Hospital is set to be officially reopened soon. In business news, cost of living delaying home and vacation purchases. Regionally, in Trinidad and Tobago, a new program to identify hearing and visual impairments in children from age 4. And in sports, 76 Jamaican athletes will represent Jamaica at the Commonwealth Games. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The Black River Hospital in St. Elizabeth is set to be officially reopened soon. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton made the announcement at the Health Hurricane Response Program Working Breakfast with members of Parliament from Western Jamaica on Thursday. The hospital was severely damaged by Hurricane Melissa in October 2025. The Black River Hospital suffered severe structural and water damage during the Category 5 hurricane, impacting its roof, wards, and power systems.
The seawall prevented a lot of the flooding. Black River really had the surge, but it never flooded. What killed Black River, manner of speaking, was the roof. And I'm telling you, the roof that is on there now, not even a Category 7 can move it, because it is slab and it's strong, right?
Even though rehabilitating work has been done, Dr. Tufton says research is being done, looking at the feasibility of relocating the facility in the future.
Currently, we're doing ecological studies supported by the IDB to determine suitability of location and what may need to happen if we're to relocate.
The working breakfast brought together members of Parliament representing the 5 parishes affected by Hurricane Melissa to provide an overview of the program and its role in strengthening the resilience of Jamaica's public health system through the restoration, rehabilitation, and modernization of health infrastructure.
It's an exciting time for constituencies for Western Jamaica, because what you're really doing is renewing your health infrastructure right across the parishes.
Emergency shelter practitioners from across the Caribbean participated in an advanced training program in Barbados this week, aimed at strengthening the region's capacity to manage shelters safely and effectively during disasters. The 3-day Caribbean Advanced Emergency Shelter Training of Trainers, held from July 21 to July 23 at UN House in Barbados, brought together 20 participants from 7 Caribbean countries and territories, including Jamaica. The course focused on emergency shelter management, data collection, gender-based violence prevention, protection from sexual exploitation and abuse, and community engagement. Each newly certified trainer is expected to deliver at least 1 national shelter training within the next 12 months, helping to strengthen disaster preparedness across the region. The initiative is funded by European Union humanitarian aid under the Resilient Caribbean project. The implementation of recommendations aimed at transforming Jamaica's education system continues to gather pace. The Education Transformation Oversight Committee says 43% of the 365 recommendations outlined in the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission report have now been implemented, up from 37% reported 3 months ago. Officials say the project remains on schedule, with full implementation targeted by the end of 2031 fiscal year. Here's more from Danita Rodney.
The latest update shows progress has been driven mainly by improvements in governance, teaching and learning, and technical and vocational education and training, with more than 200 initiatives currently underway. Chairman of the Education Transformation Oversight Committee, Dr. Adrian Stokes, gave an update on Thursday at the committee's quarterly press conference.
This is an increase from the 37% progress reported at our last quarterly briefing. And this represents a 600 basis points increase for the reporting period. Now, that's good progress.
Dr. Stokes explains that the committee expects implementation to reach 53% by March next year and 65% by the end of the 2027-2028 fiscal year.
The goal is to be halfway through the project by the end of the current fiscal year, that is by March 2027. So the milestone established for that period, or up to March 2027, is a 53% achievement rate. Then we will build up gradually to 65% by the end of the next fiscal year, which is by 27-28, with full implementation scheduled to be achieved by fiscal year end 2031.
He emphasizes that education reform is critical to Jamaica's future and maintains the committee remains committed despite the challenges.
Now, everyone knows, we all recognize that there is no future for our country, certainly no bright future for our country without a proper functioning education system. And when I speak of a proper functioning education system, we're talking about an education system that works for all, not just pockets of excellence as we have today, but a system that is globally competitive, a system that can give Jamaicans a fighting chance on a global level. So it's very, very important work that we're doing here. And this is the reason our resolve at ETOC to implement the recommendations remains unshaken.
Dr. Stokes also stresses that implementation alone is not enough, adding that success must ultimately be measured by improved student outcomes.
Implementation of the recommendations is what I would say, a necessary condition to improve the structural foundation of our education system. But it is not the only objective here. At the end of the day, results must improve, which is one of the reasons clear KPIs were established at the start of the project to ensure we can successfully drive the train while we are laying the tracks. And importantly, we can measure as we go along.
Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ, is advising the public that July month-end Saturday operations will continue at select tax offices on Saturday, July 25, 2026. Tax offices will be open in parishes and capitals between the hours of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. These include St. Andrew, the Constant Spring location, Lucy, Falmouth, Montego Bay, Mandeville, Maypen, Morant Bay, St. Anne's Bay. TAJ says the Portmore Tax Office will also be open on Saturday, July 25, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Available Saturday services include motor vehicle transactions, including electronic motor vehicle registration, driver's license renewals, property tax payments, TRN applications, all tax and fee payments. Customers are reminded that several services, including payment of fitness fees, traffic tickets, property tax, renewal of a driver's license, applying for TCC, and renewal of private motor vehicle registration are available online and does not require an in-office visit. From navigating everyday challenges to achieving personal and professional goals, the right skills can make a lasting difference. While everyone has their own opinion on what matters most, one ability could have the greatest impact on daily life. We asked Jamaicans, what's one skill you think everyone should have? Chanel Matthews has their responses.
I am Chanel Matthews and this is Unfiltered. In today's fast-paced world, having the right skills can make a difference in how we navigate everyday life. What's one skill you think everyone should have?
I think everybody should have that skill of helping other people.
I feel like everybody should learn how to swim because you will never know if you will go in the water or a bad friend push you in the water. You know, you should learn how to swim.
Respect and manners and love. Because manners carry you far away.
One skill I think everyone should have would be adaptability overall, so they can adapt to any scenario or any changes that might happen in the future or right now.
One skill I definitely think, especially Jamaicans, should have is critical thinking skills. Okay, so my opinion is that we're too hard-headed sometimes, and sometimes we really need to sit and think through a situation before we actually give an action to it, because every action have a response, and sometimes when we think about it, it will prevent us from being in certain situations.
I think everybody in Jamaica should learn to swim. I think everybody in Jamaica should learn to swim. I remember when I traveling and them say, "You come from the Caribbean?" And I said, "Yes." So they, "Can you swim?" I said, "No." I said, "You should be able to swim. We should be able to swim. We're surrounded by the Caribbean Sea. Anything can happen."
I think that if you have something, you should know how to service it yourself. If it's even basic service, for example, if you have a car, I think that you should know how to check your coolant level, to check your engine level, and the transmission. It's simple. It's a dipstick, or if it's on the system, you should know how to find it and to see the level as where your car is at. And I think that will save you money, because if your engine overheats, there's a chance that you have to buy a new engine or rebuild it. And if you run out of oil, it's the same thing. Your engine will seize, and that's basically a new engine.
Please know how to cook. For the young man who is there that your mother cook all of your life and you never had to cook before, cook. Both man and woman. Thank you. All right.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision-making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. The latest consumer research for the quarter ending June 2026 show that many Jamaicans are delaying major purchases such as homes and vacations because of the rising cost of living, but a significant number still intend to buy motor vehicles. Market Research Services Chairman Don Anderson told RJR News that the trend is being driven largely by the country's inadequate public transportation system, which relies heavily on nearly 40,000 taxi operators and the Jamaica Urban Transit Company. Anderson also pointed to broader economic challenges facing consumers. Mr. Anderson noted that the proportion of households receiving remittances has fallen from a peak of 38% 5 years ago to 27% in the second quarter of this year. He believes consumers are likely to continue facing difficult economic conditions until the economy strengthens. Despite those challenges, Mr. Anderson noted that consumer confidence declined by 2.3% in the second quarter of this year, an improvement on the steeper 5.7% fall recorded in the first quarter. He said consumer confidence is largely influenced by the availability of well-paying jobs and the level of remittance inflows. Immediate past president of the MSME Alliance, Donovan Winknell, says confidence among micro, small, and medium-sized businesses remains low because of high energy costs, the rising cost of capital, and accelerating inflation. Mr. Wignall told RJR News that these factors are driving up operating costs while weakening consumer demand, forcing many businesses to pass higher production costs onto consumers and reducing profitability. He also noted that while the recently launched micro market on the Jamaica Stock Exchange offers MSMEs an opportunity to raise between 50 and 100 million in equity financing, only a limited number of businesses are likely to qualify, and the benefits will take time to materialize. Despite the challenges, Mr. Wignall is encouraging operators in this sector to remain optimistic and to continue building their businesses as they navigate the difficult economic environment. The state-owned oil refinery Petrojam says E1087 is to move up by $3.06 to sell for $204.40 per litre, and a litre of E1090 will go up by $4.50 to sell for $213.26. Automotive diesel oil will move up by $4.50 per litre to sell for $223.50. Ultra-low sulfur diesel will sell for $239.08 per litre, following an increase of $4.50. The price of kerosene will go up by $4.50, with that fuel to sell for $196.41. In the meantime, propane cooking gas will go up by 25 cents to sell for $77.96, while butane will move by 25 cents to sell for $86.93 per litre. Retailers will add their markups to the announced prices. For the trading period of July 23, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 2,133,123 units, representing 17.02% of market sales. Derman Trading Company Limited with 1,193,232 units, representing 9.52% of market sales. Woodcats International Limited shares with 1,090,759 units, representing 8.70% of market sales. Investor activity remained concentrated in transportation and distribution plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for July 23, 2026, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. The US dollar had trading margin reflecting steady liquidity, with the US selling at $159.47 and buying at $157.35. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by 55-cent transaction spreads meant the Canadian dollar sold for $113.18 and was bought for $112.63. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of 99 cents in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $211.91 and was bought for $210.92. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For our credit report tip of the day, the biggest obstacle to buying your next investment property may not be the price, it may be your credit report. Many investors spend months searching for opportunities, but very little time preparing their financial profile. Yet your credit report can influence whether you qualify for financing, how much you can borrow, and the interest you'll pay. Think of your credit report as part of your real estate strategy. The stronger it is, the more doors it can open when the right property becomes available. Real estate growth starts long before you sign a purchase agreement. In our Funded and Focus feature, one of the easiest ways to spot a sophisticated entrepreneur is to ask one question. How would you finance your next phase of growth? If the only answer is, I'll get a bank loan, there may be untapped opportunities. Savvy investors understand that capital can be sourced in many ways. They can reinvest profits, borrow against the cash value of a permanent life insurance policy, negotiate supplier credit, use customer deposits or subscriptions, finance receivables, cultivate a crowdfunding community, or form strategic partnerships that provide both capital and expertise. Some also maintain investment portfolios that, when managed prudently, can provide access to margin lending. Because margin loans can amplify losses as well as gains, they are generally only appropriate for those who fully understand the risk and have the financial capacity to manage them. Entrepreneurs who know their financing options are often better equipped to preserve cash flow, reduce financing costs, and remain flexible as opportunities arise. Capital isn't just something you raise, it's something you learn to access strategically. And that's today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing clarity to capital, markets, and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.
In regional news, in Trinidad and Tobago, Minister of Education Dr. Michael Dolath has announced the implementation of the PEARL program, an early intervention tool developed to diagnose visual and hearing impairments in children from as early as 4 years old. The move forms part of a broader academic initiative aimed at creating equitable learning opportunities for persons with disabilities. At Thursday's opening of the Caribbean Deaf Education Conference at UWI St. Augustine, the minister announced the implementation of the PEARL program beginning September 2026.
At Thursday's opening of the Caribbean Deaf Education Conference at UWI St. Augustine, Education Minister Dr. Michael Dolath announced the implementation of the PEARL program beginning in September 2026. Originally designed to enhance the quality of education for persons within the OECS region, the initiative will deliver early diagnosis of hearing and visual impairments in children as young as 4 years old. Alongside this initiative, the minister noted that the Learning Without Limits, the national rollout of laptops for Form 1 students, will now feature AI-supported learning interface tailored for students with disabilities.
For students who are deaf or hard of hearing, the ministry is exploring AI tools that can support sign language communication, provide visual or text-based assistance, improve safe navigation, and use features such as mobile phone vibrations to alert students to alarms, approaching vehicles, or other potentially dangerous sounds.
Minister Dolath added that emphasis will be placed on sign language training and ongoing professional development.
So at the Ministry of Education, we are prepared to transform the systems by earlier identification and intervention, by including support of families and greater access to Trinidad and Tobago Sign Language. Also, we are looking at programs for the continued professional development of our teachers, our educators, and our support staff.
Under the theme, Pathways to Inclusive Education and Human Rights for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, the 3-day conference brings together educators, researchers, and policymakers to drive equitable, inclusive, and rights-based education for deaf and hard of hearing learners across the Caribbean.
St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as other member states of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, will benefit from an additional $25 million EC dollars in 2026 to support the government in its strategic priority areas.
The funds were approved during the 113th meeting of the Monetary Council of the ECCU when members met in Castries, St. Lucia. Approved in the form of a monetary grant, the ECCU member countries will use the funds under an initiative called the Big Push, promoted by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. Specifically, funds will be utilized to support development in 7 key sectors, namely human capital and skills development, food and nutrition security, energy resilience, digital transformation, financial inclusion and wealth creation, tourism and trade logistics and connectivity. The new grant follows a 2025 approval of $25 million to member countries, helping to reduce import dependence and to strengthen resilience in member states. Glenn Bart reporting for Television Caribbean, TVC Channel 40.
In sports, we start with football. Former Defence Force FC head coach and Trinidad national footballer Denzel Theobald will serve as head coach of Jamaican Premier League team Racing United FC for the upcoming season. Having already overseen his first training session with the club, Theobald's appointment was officially confirmed on Thursday via the club's Instagram page. Joining Theobald's coaching staff are fellow countryman Kevin Mosio, who will serve as goalkeeping coach, and trainer Franz Husbands. The move sees the 2006 Trinidad and Tobago FIFA World Cup squad member link up with TNT players Adriel George, Joshua Wilson, and goalkeeper Aaron Enhill, who won last season's Golden Glove. Racing United finished the Jamaica Premier League in 6th place last season. In athletics, the 23rd Commonwealth Games officially opened on Thursday at Scotland's OVO Hydro Stadium, marking the start of 2 weeks of competition involving 74 nations. Several Jamaican sporting delegations left the island earlier this week for the Games. Jamaica's track and field team is being led by technical leader Maurice Wilson. Jamaica will compete in both the men's and women's 3x3 basketball tournaments at the Games. Meanwhile, the Sunshine Girls were already in Scotland completing training sessions at Pollock Park as they prepare to improve on their silver medal performance in the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. A total of 76 Jamaican athletes will represent the national colors across 10 sporting disciplines. Meanwhile, Trinidad and Tobago sent a strong team to this year's Games. Nasira Mohammed has more details.
The dazzling ceremony culminated with all teams taking the stage, proudly showcasing their national colors. Trinidad and Tobago's 36-member contingent was led by flag bearers, heavyweight boxer Nigel Paul, and netball star Jolisa Cooper. Together, they proudly display this country's presence at the global event. Over the course of the Games, Team TNT will compete in athletics, boxing, cycling, gymnastics, judo and netball as they aim to make their mark on the international stage.
And that's it for the weekend news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.